Ciao, ragazzi. My name is Anthony. This is my friend Mario. Two blokes that are going to bring you a new segment here on the Football Worldwide platform called the Palermo Pod. Two Palermo fans know we don't sit in the curva with the ultras. No, we have not been going to games our whole life, but we're just two blokes that do support them from our respected countries. Mario, how you doing, man? You excited to get this going or what?
I've waited all summer for this. After the promotion, watching the promotion, it's been an exciting road from Serie D.
Oh man, hasn't it been? Hasn't it been? I dare say, like I was thinking about it yesterday. It's a very unique situation because all Sicilian sides, ever since I've grown up, have always had to just celebrate in the moment, knowing all too well that financial difficulties are going to catch up with them probably tomorrow. And at some point, it's just going to end up being a disaster and you will end up being demoted again. But this is the first time that, as long as I've been alive, that a Sicilian side genuinely has a shot at not only sustainability, but ambition, man.
Yeah, being acquired by the Citigroup was huge. It just shows that Palermo has just come so far from 2004 when they first got promoted to Serie A and began, blessing the Italian soccer league and the world with their scouting, their talent, their passion, their fans. Um, and Citigroup saw that vision that they had, and they acquired them. And hopefully, they don't put them on the back burner, and they actually take some serious action with this team.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get stuck into the podcast, I want to give a shout out to our partner and supporter of this podcast, Sicilian Football. Make sure you go and check them out. Headed by another Aussie, Anthony Barbagallo. Absolutely fantastic gentleman. Great work that he puts out. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is the website right here. But more importantly, head over to the Instagram and check it out. It's an absolute fantastic platform. Shout out to Anthony and Sicilian Football. I always enjoy checking out everything that they put out. And yeah, they'll be featuring links in our description for all of our podcasts as well. So once again, a big thank you. Let's move right into it where it left off. It really was a beautiful ending to last season. Very intense Serie A campaign. But at the end of the day, dreams do come true for all Palermo fans. Palermo back in Serie B. How did you feel, Mario, after you saw us go up? Because like the rumors of the Citigroup were coming, but I dare say if there was one big thing that could have really screwed that entire deal up, let's face it, it would have been staying in Serie A.
Oh yeah, I mean nobody wants to take on a third division team with all the debt and disorganization that they've had throughout the years. I mean, when Zamparini left the club, it was a nightmare, and the next owners, I think they went through a couple owners even between the first drop off from bankruptcy. So it was exciting. I mean, I was watching the promotion games, whatever stream in 240p I can watch, and it was amazing to see that what they've done because they struggled in Serie D for a year. Then they finally got the promotion and big time.
Absolutely big time. And what comes with that promotion? The acquisition. And it was a big acquisition, man. It was the news that everybody was waiting for. And the Citigroup have purchased Palermo. And it's insane. Not only are the Citigroup dipping their toes into Italy, they're going to Sicily, man. They're going right down to the south. They're going right down to where our ancestors grew up. And it's just really, really exciting, man. I remember reading the news for myself and thinking, wow, this is going to be huge. If this doesn't give a kick up the club's cooler, absolutely nothing will. Very, very exciting to have the Citigroup take over, man, because they've got some status all around the world, most notably Man City as well, but clubs in Spain, France, Belgium, Melbourne City here in Australia, who have just recently in the last maybe 2 to 3 seasons taken over Sydney FC as like the real powerhouse force of the A-League, the Australian League, which has got a lot of work to do in its own. So there's clubs as well in India and China and right where you are, bro, New York City FC. Talk about it.
They did the same thing with NYCFC. They took the team in 2015 and was it 7 years it took? Yeah, just a little under 7 years. I had season tickets. I was going to every game from the first 3 seasons. And then, I got bored of it, so I canceled my season tickets and, I couldn't make the games, whatever. But they turned the team into a championship team. Like last year, we won the MLS Cup. We did it a lot faster than our counterparts at New York Red Bull did, and they've been in the MLS since inception. They've never won an MLS Cup, and we did in 5 6 years, whatever it took. So it's intriguing to see like Palermo being under this umbrella now. Like I can't really speak
Mm.
for much of the other teams like Troyes, Girona, the Chinese teams, Yokohama. I don't know what goes on financially. I don't know how much they care about those teams, but it's crazy that they just picked Palermo out of all teams because there's teams in Italy that they could have salvaged for a lot less and that have more history. That they could have even purchased a Serie A team. Salernitana was on the block for a little bit. They could have picked up Monza, somebody, one of these other teams, and they went with Palermo. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I hope it could benefit not only the club but the city and the island.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will, man. It's not without a little bit of drama, though. You got to always be prepared for something crazy to happen if you are a Palermo fan. And basically, the week of that they were set to play in the Coppa Italia, then manager Silvio Baldini abruptly announced his resignation as manager, as did the sporting director as well, Castagnini at the time. So it was a little bit of chaos. Just didn't have much time after getting promoted and celebrating the acquisition before there was a little bit of a problem around the corner. But we are going into this season with Corini as the manager, who did beat a few other candidates to the job, Mario, most notably Daniele De Rossi as well. So how are you feeling about the return? He was a player, of course, for Palermo for 4 seasons, something like that, early to mid 2000s. And he was also the coach in one of those little stints under 2016-17, where basically how many managers did Palermo go through in that?
Many, way too many, way too many. No, Corin is he's a great acquisition because he's been there, he's done that. He took them from, I want to say, as far back as Serie B last time in 2002, 2003, whatever it was, when they were just coming up to Serie A. He was the captain of the team. Uh, he was eventually captain of the team, and he was the heart and soul of that midfield. He was right in the middle, at number 5, just calling the shots. Him, Santana, who was he was with the club up until about last season, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but he came back 40 years old, whatever it was. Played in Serie D, played in the Serie C. I don't think he was with the promotion team. Uh, because I was following it like loosely on and off last year,
Mm.
but because he was part of that like revolution, and it's cool to see those legends, those OGs come back. Like imagine like Luca Toni coming out playing in Serie G after he was 37 years old, top goal scorer in Serie A, and now 42, 43 years old, whatever it is. He comes back to Palermo to get him back to Serie A. That would be the best. Impossible, but it would be what a story that would be. But
I got to.
Corini, and he's an okay manager too. I mean, he's had his hand in the Serie
Mm.
A. So he managed who was it, like Torino a few years back. Whatever, it's experience. He has that experience. He knows what it
Yeah.
takes as a player and as a Rosanero and as a coach. More importantly now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Basically, the existing manager and director didn't agree with some of the personal decisions that the CFG, the City Financial Group, were making at the time. They also felt that the squad shouldn't be pushing for promotion for Serie A just yet. So, before we move on to our first two games, just overall, what's your realistic expectation for a season here in Serie B? Like, when we look at our squad, it's promising, but it's going to struggle to hit that promotion, especially in a season in Serie B, which is absolutely jam-packed with Serie A regulars, man. It's going to be a very busy season. We'll check out the table a little bit at the end of this very short podcast. But what are your realistic expectations going into the campaign, man?
I don't expect promotion right away. I think City Football Group wants to get promoted as soon as possible. I mean, they should because you want to have a success story and all that. You want to see that, oh, look, we invested in Palermo. We brought them from Serie B to Serie A. They're going to be the pride and glory and joy again. But I think realistically, you have to temper the expectations because it still is like an okay, a good squad, I would say. I wouldn't say it's like great. Like in the preseason, they got waxed by Pisa 5-0 right before. right before the season starts. So me, my dad were watching like, holy shit, like these guys are gonna get. I don't know what's gonna happen this year. I hope they don't get embarrassed. But then they come on against Perugia on the first game. They looked impressive. They looked like they belonged. Like they dominated that game, 1-2 nothing. And I was actually able to watch that game. I found a stream for it, but after watching them play in Serie B a couple times, or just once rather, because I missed the body game, it's promising. I don't think promotion straight away. I think they'll compete for the playoff spot, maybe push for it. I think they get close, but no cigar.
Yeah. It's worth noting as well, the City Football Group appointed Leandro Renaldo, who's another former player of Palermo. He's coming in as one of in a sort of a director role or an assistant director role. I'm pretty sure. I might have to read back on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's a like an interim sporting director role. He was also playing at Napoli and Juve. I know he played for Juve. I think he might have played at Napoli as well, yeah?
He was at Napoli too, I think.
He was at Napoli as well, so pretty cool. First game, 2-0 against Perugia. Perfect start, man. Like, you can't ask for more than that. I was really excited to watch it. It's also worth noting, like, I'm actually genuinely waking up for two teams again this season, because I don't really wake up for the team that I support in England much anymore. I won't say who it is, but it's really nice to be waking up, like, with a really, really keen to watch. And most people know that I support Inter, which is just met with most anxiety, but it's nice to wake up excited and pumped to watch a team without too many expectations. So to wake up and watch their first game, the 2-0 win against Perugia, it was really, really good. We were all over them like a bad rash, man. There was only one result that was going to happen on that day, and it was going to be a win for us.
Yeah, I was watching it. As I'm watching the game, we dominated. We look like a much better team. Like Perugia, they've been up and down in the past years. But Palermo looked, they ran the show. They earned that win 2-0. They could have even scored more with the chances they had. They had not a lot, but they had some good clear cut chances that
they had double digits. They had double digits in shots. I remember that. I remember watching their double digits in shots and had about 3 to 4 of them on target. Mm-hmm. Dominated possession. It's about 60-40.
Yep, it was a good game. As a Palermo fan, I was impressed because I saw them in the promotions and I was like, okay, they're good. They're not good enough. I was like, they're good for Serie C, but are they going to hack it at Serie B? Can they continue the pace? But the level it increased. Like, I don't know what they did over the offseason because they didn't really strengthen the squad too much. I don't think, and that's why was the main reason why the management had a little bit of a fallout. But I don't know, maybe it's Corini. It could be because he has that that little that grinta, that that push, that he knows what it takes. He's been there, he's done that. He lives, he breathes for Palermo at this point. He was the soul of the team, so it's uplifting to have a guy like that in the locker room. But yeah.
Speaking of guys in the locker room, how important is our number 9 going to be this season, man? His market value is about $2 million. I expect it to go up by the end of the season.
He wanted to come back to Palermo because I think he was on loan, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he was on loan. I just forget now who he was on loan from.
Yeah, he was on loan, and he said, "I want to stay with Palermo. I want to be there in the Serie B with them. I want to help them get promoted." And it's hard to find guys like that that'll.
Juve. I'm pretty sure it was Juve, actually.
Yeah, it was one of those teams. I was gonna say like Torino or something like that.
No, it was Juve. It's coming back to me now. It was Juve. I don't know if he ever made the senior squad, even for training, but it was for Juve.
No, but he's showing that he has what it takes to take this team to take this team like by himself, not by himself, but like be the focal point of this team and take him to the next level like he did from Serie C. And I appreciate the guys that they want to stay with the club, that they fall in love with the club.
Yeah, there's a couple of other players worth noting. Francesco Di Mariano as well, left winger. He's 26 years old this season. He knows what it means to be at a club like Palermo as well. Has played the majority of his career at senior clubs. Left Lecce to come to us on a permanent deal. Most of our deals were loan deals, but this was one of the more permanent ones as well. Also had some Serie A experience with Venezia when they got promoted, but also played for Roma for part of his career as well. He'll play a good part this year in terms of just being overall supportive of the side, man. Anybody else that you wanted to talk about besides Di Mariano as well. It's worth mentioning our goalkeeper and Damiani and Soleri, who is also coming back this season.
Yeah, a couple other guys that I liked was Jeremy Bro in the center mid. I thought he was very calm and composed and helped pull the strings for most of the game. I didn't see the body game, unfortunately, so I don't know what happened there. I just saw the highlights and stuff like that. But in the first game, which I'll speak mostly of, he looked very good. He was running the show in the midfield. Another guy that's really also important, Roberto Floriano. He was one of the best players from last season as well. Next to Brunori, he scored a bunch of goals. I believe he's a winger, attacking mid sort of player. He can play both of those positions, even as a striker. So he's also very creative. He got an assist in the game against Bari, and I just saw the goal. He made a nice run, passed the ball on the left side, and Valente scored. But players like that, even the center back, I think Nedel Saaru, probably saying his name wrong. It's hard to read because I'm dyslexic. He also looked okay, like he was holding it down in the back with the guy who was next to Marconi. Fortunately, got a red card for a professional foul, but smart foul when I went with the goalie, prevented the breakaway against Body. But whatever, jumping here and there. Who else we got? Salvatore Elia scored in the first game. A nice goal from the finish across the box into the far corner. He was also creating chances, cutting in, trying to shoot. So these are the kind of things I look for in my attacking players, and I think that the attack looks like it's going to be strong this year. Question mark is going to be the defense and the keeper, I believe.
Speaking of defenders, I think we're still active in the transfer market, though. We've just signed a defender from Monza, Betella, and he's actually an inter-youth product, I'm pretty sure. I'll need to go back and check that again, but if I'm not mistaken, he played in the under-17s with Inter. So I'm going to keep an eye on his name, Betella, just in case he starts making it through the ranks and has a really, really good season, because that would be something. Our next game is against Ascoli. I'm not too sure what time it would be for you, Mario. I'm pretty sure, it's at 4:45 a.m. on the 28th of August. So today is Wednesday the 24th, which means that it is going to be on Sunday, 4:45 a.m. Sunday for me. I'll be able to wake up and watch that. Inter play 4:45 Saturday for me. So, 4:45 a.m. Sunday. It's probably like Saturday night for you, man.
That's Saturday, 2:45 on my birthday.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Hopefully 3 points. Points. We're not going to pay too much attention to the table and stuff at this point of the campaign, but Ascoli, our opponents for this week, have got 4 points in 2 games, same as us. I think that they won their first game, if I'm not mistaken, and just drew their one in the last game. Yep, they drew 1-1 to Spal in their last match. They'll probably have aspirations to make the playoffs this season, but once again, in a competitive league with the likes of Frosinone, Cosenza, Bari, Genoa, Regina, Cagliari, of Venezia, Parma, all trying to get up there. Although I think Parma's reputation, I think they're shooting a little bit too high. Just looking at their squad, it just looks absolutely too thin. Let's get the table up just to finish off, which has been a really enjoyable first edition of this pod. We're aiming to go for 15, 20 minutes each edition, not too long. We're almost there now. And every week we'll be incorporating something from the past as well, from the glory days. So don't worry, plenty of Balzaretti, Amauri, Dybala, Pastori, and Cavani to come, bro. There's our ladder at the moment for Serie B.
Not too bad. I mean, looks fair game right now. I don't know too much about these people yet. These teams. We're figuring it out as we go.
I saw the Genoa players walk over to clap their fans though after they won on the weekend, and I'm like, damn, that's a big club. That is a big club to be down in Serie B. It really, really was. But I have absolutely no sympathy, man. I was glad to see them go down. Mario,
Cagliari too. I mean, it's the same thing.
They need to stay down.
I don't really care, but they've just been a staple in Serie A in the mid to lower table,
mooching a spot in Serie A, man.
Always. Yeah. But they've always just been there. They've never done anything remarkable. They've never done anything I don't even think they've competed in a European tournament.
No.
Useless.
Exactly. All right, man. That's going to pretty much finish us off for the first episode of this Palermo pod. It was very enjoyable, and we will see you at some point soon on any platform, on any show. Thanks, Mario.
Take it easy. Thanks for having us. Let's get this going.
All right. Ciao.